There's a little bit of a problem with that Foster Swift bill. I mean, that takes us about $13,000 over budget if we actually pay it, first off. And secondly, there was a charge on that from the 27th of October.
Okay. Which was after?
That was after the resolution. So that was not a board-approved contract on the 27th.
So that would be removed from payment.
So historically, what happens, we have to amend the budget and then pay it. So we'll amend your budget, hold off on what we can pay for Foster Swift, and a motion to amend the budget at next meeting.
Yeah, at this point, the bills that are being put forward for Foster Swift is 3 months of billing, and it's $14,218. What is left in that budget at this point is just over $600. That's all that's left in that line item of the $25,000 that was appropriated.
So we'll have to come up with the next meeting to amend the budget and probably plan for future bills at the next meeting.
It's not all me.
So
Read the bills.
motion to table
Foster Swift.
Foster Swift minus the 600 we do have to pay them. The rest of the
Second.
bills.
Roll call. Whalen,
Yes.
Shano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Slander,
Yes.
Eddie, yes.
So that is just to,
Not paid
Table.
for Foster Swift.
just to table the Foster Swift.
The $14,000 one.
So
And then,
I would make
so,
a motion to pay all the bills except Foster Swift.
Second.
yeah, second.
Okay, roll call. Slander,
Yes.
Shano,
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Whalen,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, Planning Commission member recommendation from supervisor. The supervisor is recommending Jeremy Bloom to the Planning Commission. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Well, it's first we heard of it, so I haven't quite,
Yeah.
You don't know who he is?
I don't.
Questions you got?
Have a little background or something?
Lifetime resident, Tuckahoe Township, property owner, background in working for the state, CPS, agricultural background, bunch of different things, family members in multiple aspects of business. None known conflicts of interest that I know of. Just want to get involved in the township.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep.
with the roads division. The roads division and that, I don't know.
Yeah, maintenance.
So I thought,
Are you one of our firemen too?
I was from '99 until
I thought I recognized you from somewhere there.
2000 and something. Firefighter, paramedic, still hold paramedic license.
Where does it go from here?
Just need a yeas or nays.
I'll give you a yay.
Shano, do you have anything?
Yeah.
Campbell?
Good.
Okay, Deb, that's still, you don't have any more vacancies. Parks and Recreation Committee request.
so we still keep in mind to get an alternate on the planning commission. It is permissible.
I asked the board months ago if they had any recommendations, and I had no list. I'd love a list.
Well, let's put it out on Facebook like we voted the other time. Put it out on the website. Put it in.
I didn't
I
stop
think
it.
we even approved posting it in the County Journal in that motion.
We did with the maintenance, or the staff member. What was that, Kay?
The janitor was the only thing I saw in the meeting minutes for the time.
It was in there, we did recommend it.
We approved the monetary expenditure we posted.
The County Journal for the janitor.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah,
the,
And for the planning
yeah,
commission.
looking for.
There were two separate ones.
I didn't see
Two
that in the
separate
meeting
motions.
minutes.
Parks and Recreation Committee request for a $200 budget allocation to support the 2025 Christmas event.
I have that letter.
It was in the motion to approve $200 budget for the Parks Committee.
Roll call. Eddie, yes. Whalen.
Yes.
Shano.
Yes.
Schlander. Campbell.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, approved. Okay, Linwood Metro Water District. Ernie,
Here's one, they go up there. To the mic, please. Okay. I'm Ernie Boucher. I'm here representing Linwood Metropolitan Water District. And what I'm in front of the board for is, as a board, we are deciding to possibly eliminate Linwood Metropolitan Water. There is reasons, there's several. I'm not going to go through all of them for you. According to our attorneys, which this has happened before, we found out that there's plenty of laws out there to make this happen. Collin Township only has basically about 10% of the customers in Linwood. So it'd be Linwood Road, South. Fraser has the rest. What we're going to do is we're going to try to split it between Fraser and Collin. Before this all happens, and this is more or less just for your information, we don't know exactly how this is all going to work out yet. We have to go through our attorneys and then come and present to you a list of our bills, the customers, the debt, and all of that. So that basically was the only reason I'm here, is just to tell you it's coming at you. You know, it's up to you guys if you want it or if you don't want it.
and you had come to my office last week and said that Fraser is interested in their
Yep.
part.
At this point, but they're probably, like some of you are probably thinking, how much is the debt? At this time, I cannot really say. By the time there's a lot of different things. And that will be presented to you in writing, exactly the amounts and everything. The only thing that really hasn't decided that we have to find out about is where the mains cross the road, who's gonna own it? Do they cross township lines? You know, that'll be up to you and Fraser Township, Collin Township, you guys decide who's gonna take care of that.
And the dating of the infrastructure, how old is it?
That's, our oldest piece of pipe was 1955, which by water lines is damn near new. So,
They're not wooden.
they're not wood, that's true, that's true. That's a fact. But most of our, a lot of ours was redone when they built a filter plant, which would have been 30 years ago, 31 years ago, something like that. There's a lot of new infrastructure put in that.
No lead in the system, it's no one
Yep.
either.
And there's no lead in the system either, even though they'll still have to check according to the state,
Do we have a lot of private entities on water
as far as
in our township?
by private.
Like you guys, Linwood,
There's like three.
I didn't know what they are.
Oh, the number of customers?
No, you know what you guys actually are. I didn't know you existed.
Oh, yeah.
I was ignorant enough to think Bay County supplied everybody's water.
No. No. Well, they do now, they supply our water now. We did filter our own water
Yeah.
up until 2 years ago, when our filter system basically was going out of date. And actually, the biggest problem we had was getting someone with a license to run the plant. And as you know, water plants, with
Yeah,
everything that's
that's one.
happened, is, you know, you need 2 people with a license, and a license is not an easy thing to get. Plus that, a small little water system like ours, you couldn't find anybody, because you're only working 15 hours a week.
So in the largest portion of your debt is your water tower, correct?
No, our
No?
largest part right now, well, probably our largest part is when we hooked on to Bay County.
Okay.
'Cause that was $1 million thing running from, Laporte Road down elevator to the water plant.
Okay, yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it before you've
Yep.
done that, so
Yep.
at that point it was the water tower.
And there's a second connection coming, isn't there?
Well, that's up to the state. That's not up to us. Or, we don't know.
But did not the state, when the first tap took place, comment that there was?
They do want one.
They want a secondary, which could have been tapped off, because you got an 8-inch line down there.
Well, you know, that's up to Bay County. If you tap, let's say, at the marina would be the closest point,
Yeah, we got an 8-inch down there that's ours.
but you're tapping on the same line you tapped onto already. So is it really a loop? That's the only question we have, but that's totally up to Bay County and the state and stuff.
So when can we expect to see these numbers?
That's a good question. We have to talk to the attorney here in a couple of weeks. We're gonna talk with him and find out exactly how this has to go. And hopefully within a couple months, we're hoping.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
You know, that's what we want to give you guys a heads up, so you know it's coming at you.
And Frazier is seriously interested in their side of the street that we own the sewer on.
Yep, so far.
Because they didn't want to own the sewer, but now they want to own the water.
Yeah, but, you know, they want to know what the debt is too, because they're going to be saddled with the biggest part of it. So,
In the part that the county would end up with, what would that be?
right, we're gonna sell it, as of right now, the county's gonna take the water tower. We'll sell it to them for $1, but there's also a building sitting there. That we have to talk to them about yet. Because there's also a meter inside that building that regulates water in the tower to keep it fresh and keep it moving over time.
And that has to be there.
Yes, unless they say to get rid of the tower.
And when we get the second tap, if it does the right pressuring that they were looking for, they might say
They
that.
would.
With the tap.
They just might. They just might. That's, you know, that's hard to say.
That's a 50-50 teeter totter.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to them, their engineers, their numbers. Do they still need the pressure? Do they need it doesn't really, it's not really a reservoir, it's just for pressure, so it's there for anyway. So other than that, we're wide open. You guys want to come to our meeting, check us out, that's fine.
When is it?
It's every third Tuesday of the month at the water plant. Usually at 6. It hardly ever changes. We've never had anybody else come to the meeting, so
How many people are on your board?
there is 4 of us, also 5, 4 of us, 4 or 5 of us. President and 4, or the secretary, the usual thing.
And the system has how many clients?
The exact number I don't know at this
I
time.
thought there were like 380 at one point, because
Yeah, that sounds about right.
it covered the village, Linwood Road, down the Beach Road, down Anderson Road.
Right. Well,
It was weird on Anderson.
the weird part about the whole Linwood Metropolitan is that you gotta remember that when you go down Elevator Road, when you get to the drain, that's where our district ends. But everybody beyond that's hooked on.
I know.
And then on the bay, on North Linwood Beach, everybody on North Linwood Beach, all the way to Anderson Road is in the district. So it's kind of funky boundary.
It's gerrymandering at its finest.
Yes, yes,
Because Peters Beach is included,
correct.
all the way up in the houses that went up by Bowers that were at the end of Anderson
Yep,
Road.
a couple of them are in there
And then the
too.
one guy put his own line in. That's why I wondered if it was still roughly 380.
Oh, that guy never put his own line in.
He never.
No, we own that. That was definitely, and that's one of the things that if any of the customers ever do ask, how much are the bills going to go up? What all the customers have to remember, and they've all been told this, but none of them really tend to want to listen to, is there's 5 mils in everybody's taxes for this water.
Correct.
And when you guys did that extra hookup, there was a discussion about you guys doing like a tiered increase to
Correct.
pay for that as well.
Correct, yep, and I don't have it with me, but like January, we're going up, how much again, Todd, was it?
We're going off a certain percentage for the next 10 years of scheduled rate increases.
Yeah, but, I mean, if people just were to sit back and really look at how their water bills are structured in the village and Linwood Metropolitan Water, An example is if you have a taxable value of $50,000, you're paying an extra $250 a year for water. Divide that by 4 quarters, that's a hell of a water bill. You know,
Yeah.
that's just for.
I brought it up in the meeting next door,
Mhm.
that the water on Bay Metro's line, our system, is cheaper than the water because of the 5 mills.
Yep.
You take a house out at the Bay, they're paying a lot of money for the right to turn on their faucet.
Yep, a whole bunch. But it's one thing, the problem is it's one payment. How many people actually look at their taxes? They just pay that.
They pay the mills.
And the mills were put there originally to pay for the filtration plant that's there now. And that was 30 years ago, and they did that to kind of lessen the hurt.
Blunt.
And if anybody does ask for us to build a new filtration plant, would have been $11 million, I do believe the estimate we got. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now.
Thank you, Ernie.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the bills approved, and, now we have camera placement.
Well, since
Oh.
it's here, I would just like to bring this up. I know I showed, Reverend Campbell, I don't believe I can make that order because it is an EFT, it would be drawn out automatically.
Don't you usually, in the past, have you used the credit card for that?
Oh, yeah, the credit card's attached to that, but
Yeah.
it's over $300 and I'm definitely gun shy with all this, so I wanna make sure that the board sees, and it is just a run-of-the-mill reordering for paper, blue, yellow is what we use to keep track of payroll and, AP,
I'm gonna make a motion to do the Staples purchase and put it on the house credit card.
Second,
you know.
roll call. You have something to say?
Is this,
Can you give me the amount off of there?
699.
is this not including the other things? I know you talked to my deputy as well, and that's
I
not
have a
included
few
in it.
things on there
690,
from
15.
your deputy as far as like the, roll, like kinda like this, but like a roll top.
Mhm.
And
I think there
not
was.
as far as, I never got anything else given to me as specifically as far as chair or anything.
I sent that to you
You sent that to me?
in your email. Is that when I pulled it up?
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
because those were kind of a few basic things that are kind of
Okay.
substandard what we have. That's not
But that's-
more. But it says 17 items in the cart, and there was actually only 9 in the cart also, that's why it says 17 items in the cart. I don't
Maybe
know if
some
it's
of them are
multiples
doubles.
or, yeah, I was just kind of curious if there were other things on there since that had been discussed. So,
So the treasurer's office needs approximately how many dollars worth of supplies?
Give me 30 seconds. Can you go pull it up?
Please, John.
Yeah. So we can make proper analogy.
Everything's sent here, this is what's posted to the county journal.
You wanna go over the camera placement?
We can. I seen it. I seen it on hers. And ours.
Okay, camera placement for Solution. Now, I listened to the meetings on September 8th at about 9:30 PM. We spoke about the locations out in the hallway and down at the end of this hallway. The placement came at the point across from the counter at that time. I know on the recent solution mapping that the technician showed by the copy machine facing outwards from the counter. So that was,
My opinion's been questioned a couple times on it, that I had a comment with Kayla or a conversation, and I don't remember that conversation. But I do remember sticking in the back of my mind, bank tellers, they usually do a grand scheme of the things, and we talked about future cameras. But I didn't think it was proper at the time. We had a conversation about someone coming in and not getting waited on and requesting something. Then we said, who was it? And we couldn't catch them on the way out the door because they were wearing a hat, and no one knew who it was, and there was kind of a discussion about it. So I always thought behind Jeannie facing the counter so you could see what was handed and what was transacted. And I also thought if she ever wanted to pick a booger or adjust herself, that would be on camera all day. And I don't think that would be great for her either. So I'm not saying in the future, but I remember my discussion and me mentally thinking about that person and that discussion that was had for the counter person, because I think it was Lori asking Janie, and she says, I don't know, I didn't recognize him, it was an A, B, or C. And that's when this all kind of come up, along with the discussion of people going in and out of people's offices. So that was the hallway one. So I'm not saying there shouldn't be future cameras, I'm just saying I wouldn't want to be her all day and stuff happens.
Well, that angle actually also shows all of the mailboxes, which is
Yeah.
where things usually get loud.
And the
so-
people at the counter, was
Yeah.
my theory.
Yeah.
I thought the southwest corner of that room was the perfect place because it shows anybody at the counter, anybody coming in from any of the doorways, any business that would be transacted, and the mailboxes. And the mailboxes, essentially, something might not be there that someone said was there. What better thing to have a camera facing, because then you know who went to the mailboxes. And general safety, I think it makes sense. It's the camera that would cover the greatest area, the biggest bang for the buck.
The lobby.
okay, so we are going to propose the camera outside of the clerk's office, pointed to the inside of the counter.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Okay.
So if someone walks up to the camera, we get a full view of it. Or to the counter, the counter.
Well, that'll cover it.
They
So was
go
this
right
different
to the
than any of these prints, and what was the?
I did get your permit, on the second email. I didn't get it on the first one, and I don't know why.
This was all the way back in December when I first took office.
Yeah, I don't remember even the prints.
All of these other cameras also, but, all right, motion to place the camera outside of the clerk's office, pointed
Second.
towards the counter. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Brian got the, so,
I know this availability problem for the one show.
Oh, the printer ran out of paper, yeah.
Oh,
you're
no.
right.
Of course.
That's why she's running it.
I'm ordering paper. Trying. Do you want to go to public comment? No? Sounds good.
You look like you get there.
It's not yesterday.
We tried to find it cheaper. I think if we had 300, yeah, let's do 1,000, we'll be all right. I think
All
this
right,
is
I'm
trying to
gonna
get cheaper.
make a motion to approve up to $1,000 for the Staples bill.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call vote. Whalen?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Eddie, yes. DeShano?
Yes,
Schlander?
Yes.
Somebody let Brian know we're all good.
Brian, you're good.
We rounded up.
Okay, public comment.
They only printed out 3 ounces.
We got it.
Sure.
It's not big money.
Okay.
Roughly, and, 690 actually used enough money for those items. The chair, the stamper, and the mouse. I think that's, is there anything on the back there?
No.
I didn't see it.
He's turning around.
You go ahead.
Sheila Johnroe, Monitor Township. First, I'd like to thank resident Lisa Urick for ending her sabbatical efforts of recording the Calhoun Township Board meetings, as they have been highlighted a few things that I would not have knowledge about otherwise. The timing between the recordings and the increased board expressed fiascos are nearly impeccable. I've only been to 2 board meetings aside from today, a special meeting called by the supervisor, and a normal monthly meeting. Some of you, such as Lisa Urick, might even be so bold to wonder why I would care about Calhoun, being that I live in Monitor Township. I have multiple reasons, but in reflection, it's because what happens in one township often happens in another, and the attention to Calhoun has sparked my interest. Not to mention, I have had interest in this community with being on a 5-year home search. But I'm not here to talk about myself. What I have found in these videos is what seems to be someone or someone's attempt to sabotage a treasurer and a trustee or two. How so, you may wonder. The monthly meeting held on November 10th had an agenda of 30-plus items to be discussed and voted on, with 170-plus pages of supporting material created by the supervisor, and many of those pages came from Ms. Urick. In my opinion, this was either because the supervisor is inexperienced in scheduling and creating content for an agenda with realistic expectations, or it was set up to sabotage the board. Maybe he thought that 3 board members were not quorum without him, and that with the clerk present. My questions are, why would the supervisor create a huge agenda if he was going to be away for an annual hunting trip? Who submitted the agenda item about social media content being distributed? And knowing that Ms. Urick would share the rants, is this okay? Why didn't the supervisor let the Board of Trustees know he would be away for an annual hunting trip the Monday before the hunting season even started? Why was the supervisor seen in the parking lot on November 10th before the meeting started if he was said to be away hunting? How did the treasurer end up with a flat tire at the end of the meeting, but yet, to this day, her tire has remained at full air capacity? Let's talk about special meetings. Why would the supervisor schedule 2 additional special bill-paying meetings in a week at the expense of the township, when at least at the last board meeting, the Board of Trustees had already approved a resolution of when the bill-paying sessions would be? Did the supervisor ask if the other trustees were available for those special meetings? Well, we know tonight that they did not. The first one, none of them knew about, and the other one, all of them had prior engagements. Some might say the supervisor did not know about the resolutions that took place and were passed on November 10th. If that were the case, then why did he acknowledge he did during all of these extended recordings? Why would the supervisor and Ms. Urick feel it necessary to continue recording for at least 43 minutes about the embarrassment of the board and how they are sabotaging the supervisor after the special meetings failed quorum and what others want control? Let's talk about political party with stale popcorn with township funds. Who was the stale popcorn given to? The popcorn was given to a citizen of Bay County. The citizen took the popcorn to the Bay County Fair and distributed it at the Bay County Republican Party booth. Would it have been worth a whole special board meeting to make a decision on what happens to the popcorn? Did the political party give in-kind donations to Calhoun or to the individual? I can advise you that it was given to the individual. There was no ill doings in this situation. This is an emotionally charged responses, and they create misunderstandings by the people in the community. These questions come from a place of where there are always two sides to every story, and the recordings that took place and the activity on social media that are transpiring provide a completely different side to the story. Do not be so quick to judge that what one person says about another or persons and their motives. Taken from tonight, all of the Board of Trustees are in the time of learning, potentially except for Charlie, who's been a trustee for, I don't know how long, a couple years, yeah. Grace needs to be given to all of you. The one thing that I can agree with Ms. Urick on is Calcallan needs to record their own meetings and post the meetings, because Ms. Urick likes to block people on the Facebook page that she does, which creates a little bit more animosity to all of that. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you. Public comment.
Jeremy Bloom, 2110 Fraser Road. This lady brought it up. I noticed it was on that long board meeting agenda. I do watch Monitor Township's YouTube channel. I think that is something, we looked at camera placement from Solution. We got the room here. It's, I think the board should entertain the idea of a YouTube channel and cameras here. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Public comment. Public comment. Public comment. Board comments. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.